Meet the Bentley Mulsanne Speed. It's the result of one of the most prestigious names in motoring, adding a pinch of performance to its top-end luxury flagship. Let's check it out.
The Mulsanne isn't a car for regular people. Bentley says it has just two competitors, the Rolls-Royce Ghost and the Rolls-Royce Phantom. That's fairly exclusive company, and you'll need well more than $600,000 to join the club. The Mulsanne sits between the high rollers, priced from just over $730,000 plus on-road costs. For that money you get a massive, lavishly appointed machine and bragging rights that come with owning the fastest full-size luxury car on sale. But that's before you start factoring in optional extras, and, as you might expect, we're not talking about mud flaps or window tinting adding a couple of $100s to the bill. Our test model, finished in Spectre metallic paint with two-tone camel and beluga coloured leather, has more than $100,000 in extras, including a thumping 2200 watt stereo and massaging seats. But there are items on the options list that probably should be standard on a car at this price point. Features such as a reversing camera, sunroof or active cruise control that are present on much more affordable machines. But when customers will pay $3,000 for floor mats, you have to understand that this is a very special model.
The Mulsanne Speed recipe is a familiar one. You add more power, more torque, sportier suspension, a nicer interior, and sort of package it together in something that's designed at drivers more than passengers. I have to say it's something that works fairly well. Now, under the bonnet we've got a classic engine, the 6 3/4 litre V8 Bentley L-Series motor that's been with the brand for more than 50 years.
That motor produces 395 kilowatts of power and a massive 1100 newton meters of torque, more than any other car on sale. That mumbo goes to the rear wheels via an 8-speed automatic transmission with shift paddles and a new sports mode.
Those immense torque reserves mean that the Bentley is just an effortless flowing thing to drive. It's absolutely beautiful out on the open road, and on fast highways it's just a completely unfussed performer. And the Mulsanne Speed has uprated suspension over the regular car, but Bentley doesn't actually change any hardware. The car has an air suspension setup that's pretty common in this type of high-end luxury car. What they do is they basically change the settings a little bit so that it's a little bit firmer, a little bit stiffer through the bends, but yet it retains comfort settings that make it absolutely plush and just as comfortable as the regular Mulsanne. Now, the car isn't a real dynamic performer. It weighs in at 2.7 tonnes, empty, and by the time you put a couple of blokes in their bags and a full tank of fuel in the car, it's well over 3 tonnes, which is really getting up there. It's only things like the Toyota Land Cruiser and Nissan Patrol that weigh in heavier than this car. Now, what that means is that the cornering is a little bit compromised. It's not something that you really want to push. It's a car that's designed to sort of waft along at a gentle momentum. I mean, sure, you can get along at a fair clip, but it's not designed to really push and fight the car and try and slide and carry on. It's a car that's designed to be driven at a fairly restrained pace that sort of fits its stature as a high-end luxury machine.
We were lucky enough to put it to the test on a runway, where seamless thrust meant excellent stability both at speed and under brakes. The car struggles to get all of that torque to the road until third gear, and then it effortlessly reels in the horizon. The car proved more than a match for light aircraft buzzing around the airfield, though we didn't test its 305 km/h top speed out of fear that the 3-tonne monster wouldn't manage to stop until somewhere the other side of Abu Dhabi. Unlike just about every other car on the road, everything you see on a Bentley is what it should be. There's no painted plastic on the inside or outside, only beautifully finished stainless steel. Its dark tinted grille is chemically stained rather than painted, and its 21-inch wheels are expertly milled from single blocks of metal.
Bentley markets the Mulsanne Speed as a driver's car, but it's also really well equipped at the back. We've got a lot of room here, both headroom and legroom, and there's amazing seats that you can adjust in many different ways. There's a lovely control panel down here which you can use to turn on things like a massaging function, heated seats and your own little climate control section. But what's also pretty cool is this remote system. Now, using this I can control the navigation system for the car or the infotainment, either sourcing music from my own device or from a hard drive that's built into the vehicle that you can load up with your own music in a virtual jukebox of sorts. And one of the other really cool options that you can have here is sort of a mobile office. Now, if you press this button on the back of the seat in front of you, the tray table slides out like this, and you can use it to put your laptop here and do some work, whatever. That's pretty cool. Where it kicks it up another level is with this button here, which opens up yet another screen, and there's a dock here for an iPad, so you can basically just pop it in. It comes with a keyboard set up so that you can pop it in and get some work done on the road with a Wi-Fi hotspot throughout the car. It's pretty cool stuff.
The Bentley also offers immense levels of personalisation. There are 25 standard colours, 100 further optional hues, and the ability for technicians to paint the car to sample favourite items. One customer recently picked a shade of blue to match his vintage pressure cooker. There are also 10 different wood veneers, but if they don't work, Bentley can take wood from a favourite tree in your backyard, just as long as it meets their requirements. By any objective measure, the Mulsanne is a bad car. It's a thirsty, expensive and irrelevant throwback to a time when motorcars could only be accessed by a privileged few. It also falls short of the sporty, dynamic experience Bentley set out to offer with the new Speed version. But that's selling the car short. Subjectively, the Big Bentley is a rolling work of art, a magnificent anachronism unlike just about any other car on the road. It's certainly not a regular car for regular people, and that's a good thing. The new Bentley Mulsanne Speed arrives locally in June.